definitely like, it's definitely land of opportunities if you work hard, you know. But I think in the beginning, whoever is planning or trying to come to the United States, you have to be prepared that the first year will be full of challenges. The mentality, you know, like it's like a different world. It's not like you come here and you become rich overnight, like what people think, you know. You have to, right? Like everybody thinks, when I go back to Austria and meet my friends and stuff, everybody thinks you go to United States and like you stay there for 3 months and life is good and you make a lot of money. And it's not like that, you know. Like you have to, I think, develop everything, but most of it, I think it takes about a year just to get used to the new lifestyle and to get over the challenges or everyday challenges.
You know, you made me laugh because there was a great actor, Alberto Sordi, and he make a great movie. And it was a song like it was like "Tu vuoi fare l'americano, ma sei nato in Italy." You know, it said you want to be American, but you're born in Italy. So that's like, it was on the 1960s. Everybody wanted to move to the United States because they thought it was like, as you say, like everything was easy. But of course, it's like everywhere. Like you have to work hard.
Yeah, you have to work hard, and you have to really want it, and you have to want to get over the challenges, because I think it's very easy when you stay the first year to just like pack your bag and go back, you know. You know, because in the beginning, it's anything you do will be challenging, but if you get over the hurdles and you set yourself up with in the right environment, you can definitely, whatever you do, you can come very successful in the United States. So that's, I think, definitely the best country to give you these opportunities, you know, for sure.
There's a lot of prank competition overall in America, right? Okay, now we have this year is very difficult year.
Yeah, of course.
But it's been like there's a lot of events, like regional events, national events, right? Very, very, very packed. So there's like a lot of competition to choose for your students, right?
I mean, some weekends we have like 4 different competitions on the same weekend. You know, there's definitely, I don't think there's any weekend where there's not a competition. So there's a lot of different events, you know. And I think as it progressed over the 10 years I've been here, everything is getting better and better and better. And even like the Pro-Am students are getting better and more competitive. The professionals are more involved. So it becomes a whole different thing now, you know, than it was maybe 10 years ago. And that's why I think it will definitely not just grow bigger in the United States, but it will definitely grow big in Europe. It will just take some time to develop, to just get used to it.
I was asking you a question because also you're born here in Europe, and you know, what do you think Europe needs to develop a Pro-Am in like comparing to the United States? What we have a lack from your point of view?
I think there is not a lack. There just needs to be more work done. You know, like I think anything that you start in the beginning is difficult, because I have still a lot of friends from Europe, right, from back then. And a lot of people ask me, how do you do it in the United States, you know, with the Pro-Am? And how do you, like, sometimes people ask me even, how do you enter? How does it work with the students? How do you teach them? Like, how do you dress them up? Like, I think it just like, I think there's a lot of interest, but just more work needs to be done. You know, you need to invest more work to find out how it works, how the system works, so you can start to copy it more and grow it, you know?
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Actually, by the way, we have some good students in Europe. They are actually the level, not the massive, but we have we have started some good level. So
yeah, I mean, I saw like the last 2 years, I went to Blackpool, and I was very surprised how many countries were represented in the Pro-Am. There was a lot of couples, a lot of European countries, you know?
It's getting better.
Getting bigger.
Yeah, getting bigger. Well, thank you for give a little bit tip to our follower to understand it, because as you say, we have the feeling like, as I say, the social dancing is moving in a different area, like a different level, and is moving more competitive. So that's why this Pro-Am took much more space now and much more into society also.
But, you know, it's also like, you know, it's very rarely, I do get it, but that I get a student and they have never danced before and they say, I want to compete. I had it a couple times because they maybe saw it, some friends were doing it. So I had some students that never danced before and said, I want to compete, which is great because I can prepare them and we go and compete. But most of the people here, you definitely have to develop it from a social background first, you know, like there's a lot of social dance schools, right? So most of the people just learn the first steps, and only when they get into it and they see the opportunity of competing, they will get into it. But it's very rare that somebody has never done anything before shows up and said, I want to compete. So that's why I said, I think they have a good system here in the United States, how to develop it. Where some people, everybody mostly starts with social, unless you have some kind of dance background. And then some people just are happy with that. And then some people will see, oh, there are competitions and I can compete. And in the beginning, maybe they just do it for fun and then they get further and further into it. I think what we're used to from Europe, I think we're very, very rough, you know? So, which, you know, in the beginning, I was told a lot. I was like, well, look who taught me. My students were like, you're rough. It's like, what? I'm nice, you know? And even
it's
like,
a compliment. It was a
yeah,
compliment.
even like when I have some coaches from Europe, like, you know, all my students think they're very rough because I think they're very straightforward. So, you know, might have somebody that just started and it's like, okay, this is what you got to do. We compete next week, you know, like you were freaking didn't have 2 routines. You say compete this weekend.
That's it. Done. Finish.
So I think it's that the mentality of just developing it slowly. You cannot expect somebody that just comes off for the first time that you talk about competing and next week they're on the floor. You know, like you have to give it time to develop it socially and then see who's interested and grow more and more and more.
So how many?
Yes,
go ahead.
In the end, you gotta love Pro-Am. I mean, if you think about it, do you know how many women I get to dance?
Well, I was going to ask you. Can you tell me, please?
I mean, that would be perfect for you. You missed your calling.
Yes,
it's not too late. It's not too late.
Well, time is moving. Time is moving. But how many Pro-Am champion you make overall already, Sini?
Well, I mean, a couple for sure. You
wow.
know, like some United States, world, Blackpool.
Blackpool, I heard that. You
Blackpool,
see?
Blackpool.
Well,
even Blackpool online.
Also Blackpool online, fantastic. Listen, coming to these days, you know, we all, like United States, like also Europe, we are, this year our dancing industry and our love of dancing has been very, very under no social, no meeting, no traveling, very difficult. How the situations overall in Washington? You are now little getting better together, or you still like over here? We are slowly start to get more to the studio, slowly, not very fast.
I mean, to me, it's like very unsure. Not just in the United States, I've been over the world. Like we don't really know what's happening. You know, we don't really know what will happen. We don't. So right here, I cannot tell you how the situation is because we'll just have to see what's going to happen. From my perspective, for the first couple months, we were very committed to Zoom. You know, a lot of Zoom boot camps, a lot of group classes and lessons. And now we're slowly moving some of my students to the studio. We safe distancing, gloves, masks, you know, so we hope at least it can stay that way and we'll get better. But I think we're just all unsure what's going to happen overall. I mean, when I talked to my parents, right, they said like 2 weeks ago, they said, oh, they only have to wear masks in the grocery stores. Now they have to wear masks everywhere again. So we really don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you another things, because, you know, as you know, I'm going to organize like also a Pro-Am online tour starting October 18. It will be the first one. Then we have November, and then we have December, and then they concluded with the final on the 10th of January. So we're gonna have a tour. How is the feeling of the Pro-Am students about online events? I found it, honestly to you, I found it terrific. When I was in the lockdown, April and May, we did a lot of like 12 competitions, a tour. There was a lot of people participated. I found hilarious, like fantastic, great feeling. People was home. Of course, there's nothing else to do at the moment, so it was a give them a good motivation to do it. But I still feel like people have some good feedback. As you say, Blackpool Online was just like a couple of weeks ago, and there are other. I know you had USA, US, so you have other competition in Pro-Am online. So how is the perceptions of the teachers and the students from you?
So I can tell you from my perspective, because I cannot speak for anybody else, right? For me, it's like this. I think like no matter what happens, because we're unsure what's happening, we have to make the best out of this time that we're going through, and we cannot waste time to improve in any ways. So of course, like, as you know, like before this happened, we even started to travel to Europe. We were in Rome in January. Last year, I think we've danced probably 25 competitions at least. I mean, we're on the road all the time, which, you know, me and my divas, we love that, like to travel, to compete and everything. But right now, I think that some people feel comfortable going to competitions. My students are not. So of course, online events do not replace the real thing, obviously, right? The excitement to go on the floor, to dress up, to go out, to party, all this. However, I think that's the best we can do. So why concentrate about what we cannot do, and say, you know, and say like, oh, I wish I could go. Well, you can't. Like right now, we can't. So let's make the best out of it, and let's concentrate on the things that we can do. And if the online events are it for now, and we can find this way to improve ourselves and to keep going, you know, and to prepare for the competitions and give us goals, let's do it. That's how I feel. If that's the best we can do right now, let's go for it, you know?
Good. Well, let me exactly. Like also, and situation now changing because in March, April, May, people have to be stay home. Now there's the possibility people can, like students or teachers, can go to the studio. They can, for example, like our system is slightly different. You know, we want to receive a record video. We ask you to upload in your video, and the judges will judge in the video. We have we're moving now to four criteria of judgment, and then we do a live show that we're inviting the students to come on the live show. But you know, because we don't really like to do on the moment, it's still a competition, a little bit different format, because we as a champions too, we feel like it should be, and the team, we should be like give it the best quality out of it. So that's we feel like
let me tell you what my students thought. You know, that they did already quite a couple online events. They did your event, they did Dance Beats events, they did Heart of America, they did a show in Japan. And the next day they were in Blackpool, so they can travel a lot now, you know. But I think in the beginning, especially the first one they did, because we're just stuck at home, they did a solo performance. So that's very difficult. It's very challenging, you know. But what I love is like they took the challenge on, and what happened for doing that, they actually improved a lot. They found a balance. They started to create more actions in their body. So it was actually a great thing. And when we talk to each other now, we're like, you know, we're actually happy that the Zoom time happened, because I think they improved more than they did in the studio. So the way they see it now, obviously it's harder to create it online, you know, but if they take the challenge and they move forward and it proves them, isn't that what it's all about, you know, to consistently grow and improve as a dancer, and to get feedback, you know, any kind of feedback from the judges, no matter if it's a placement or like comments, because that's why you pushed me to compete.
Yes.
After a week with Natasha, like, yes, we're going to Luxembourg. I said, where? Right? Because we consistently competed and trained to grow and to improve. So if we cannot do the real thing now, let's take, for me, my students feel like, let's take the challenge to improve and grow and get better, you know?
Yeah.
And like, I think if you know me, what I like to do is I like to create. That's why I like my Siva Divas in this Pro-Am world, because I get how many different women I can work with and create a different look, create a different style, create different choreography, and just create a whole different partnership each, you know, to present it. So that was the main thing for me and for them, that felt like that the COVID stopped in the first couple of months. But to us, we feel like now that we have these online events, we can keep growing, we can keep being creative, we can keep creating, we can keep getting better, because, you know, we cannot waste time, because when this is over, if we didn't dance for 6 months, how are they ever going to go to the competition, back to real life, right? We have to start from scratch.
Exactly.
So this, we have to just keep moving, keep improving, keep going, no matter what it is. That's what you taught me. You got to go no matter what.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
No matter what, do it. Just deliver
Do
it.
it.
That's
Do
it,
whatever you
delivery.
can do. Why think about what you can do? Do
Yeah, don't do it, just do it. Completely right, you see? And it works, and it works.
See? You
So,
taught me a lot.
yeah, I'm very happy about it. And I can see it works for you very well. But, you know, as I say, the difference now from the springtime, that now really people can go to the studio, you can record your video in the studio or home or outside, any place that you want. So definitely you are invited, of course, Sini, you are more than invited with all your students, and everybody is invited. The first event we will do on live streaming will be for the Pro-Am on the 18th of October. Then we have something about 20 something of November, but anyway, we'll come out with a date very, very soon. 18 is already everywhere being published, you know, very simple. We're very, very happy to have all of you on board.
Well, actually, Jerry, I just talked to one student earlier today, and we were talking about the online events, and we talked about your event. And you know what I really like also is because, you know, last year we're just competing and traveling, and bam, 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 bam. You know, like it was like nonstop. Like you taught me.
Yeah, no, stop. This year,
So,
this year, everybody stops. Believe me, I traveling like a hell. You know, I'm a flyer, you know. And this year I have only to fly. That's it on my ear. I'm like, amazing. I'm like,
well, but you see, like when you compete and perform, right? Obviously, there's some pressure there. Some of them, as you said, like they're pretty successful already. So you need to make sure every step is on, you know, and like the technique is on, it's on time, and just do the same routine over and over and over until one of us cries, right? So we just like you taught me. So
yes, exactly.
anyways, it's very like intense, and it's very like a lot of pressure to get it right, to compete, to put out your best, and you know. But this actually, what I like about this, because like let's look at the positive, because like your format, for example, is all about being creative. And I love that. I love to create different looks and different ideas. And last year we couldn't do that because we're nonstop on the road and doing this and like get it better and get it better. And now we can actually prepare the shows. We can think about a different look. We can think about the different choreography. We can think about the music. We can think of the whole concept. And to me and my students, the enjoyable thing is like that we can create something with not as much pressure. When we're back to competition, we're still growing, but we can create a whole new concept. We can do a photo shoot. We can do all these things, you know?
And then take your time now, do online, because next year we're going to do a live competition in Ischia. So I wait you back again in Ischia on my epi training.
You know, I'm ready. I'm ready to go anywhere. I'm ready to go anywhere. Just get me out of the sea for a little bit.
So let's move now to the online event, and then you will be preparing everybody for the Ischia.
Listen, I'm ready for Ischia tomorrow. I'm coming.
Well,
I don't even care if you're coming. I'm going by myself. I have a training camp by myself.
Everybody be ready, but the problem is the circumstance doesn't make us to go anywhere. But you know, I also want to come to Washington. I promise some of your students to come to Washington. I definitely want to come there. So thank you, Sini, for your time. I think it has been wonderful to chat a little bit with you today, and I think you have to go for dinner some very soon, I guess, or whatever, you know. And for me, time to go to sleep, you know. But we definitely will still in touch, and we'll a little bit talk more. Yeah, it was amazing. I think if any of our followers want to know much more about Pro-Am and Pro-Am in the United States, please let me know or just message to Sini. Then he can very, very easily reply to you and help you as much as he can. So just work it out that way. And then I want to say to all American community that is over there and all Washington students, thank you very much for your big kindness and all your beautiful words you always sent to me through the difficult time in March, April, May. It was amazing to get all your feedback and all your good comments. Thank you so much. All the American people that are there. So, and also of course to all our European and Asia people that keep following us, please also take care of yourself and always be nice. Sini, it has been wonderful to have you with us.
Always good to talk to you. It reminds me of the old times.
We'll see. I miss that. Come over to have a good dinner together.
And you're always so nice to me. Very nice.
Well, because you've been a wonderful student. Your family beautiful. You and your sister, your parents, wonderful family. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Thank you so much for your time in being, and I want to say thank you to all our audience, and we wait you for the Pro-Am competition. Register in our website. Is open up anyway for registrations. You can register for the Pro-Am event. 18th of October it will be the live show. We'll see you then. Okay. Thank you very much to everybody. Yeah, now we can talk.
Okay, it was good.